The 2025 NFL regular season is less than 4 months away, and today we're taking a look at one of the surprises of last season. The Denver Broncos, a team many may have projected to finish last in the division of the AFC West, they ended up a playoff team under the guidance not only of head coach Sean Payton, but rookie sensation Bo Nix. Yes, you don't know Bo, you don't know nothing. Broncos, you are up. Make sure you guys subscribe down below, hit the like button, hit the bell. Comment down below. We're doing each and every franchise, all 32 of them. We're winding this thing down. We're getting closer to the end. We got a bunch of other teams we've done. If your team isn't on the list yet, just wait on it. I promise it's on the way. God's favorite host, breaking down the 2025 Denver Broncos schedule with you here on the Flex Zone podcast. I said it in the open. One of the more surprising teams of last season was the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix, better than advertised. I don't think many of us saw that happening, especially when he was drafted, at 10? Sean Payton did wonders with the young brother. He looks like he may have his new Drew Brees. The running back position, R.J. Harvey, is a good pickup out of the draft. Cortland Sutton, one of the more underrated receivers in the league. Marvin Mims Jr. Evan Ingram is there as well. The wide receiver position, I thought they would address a little bit more. I want to see more from Troy Franklin, but I'm intrigued to see what they do opposite Cortland Sutton. Do they have someone in Marvin Mims? Is Troy Franklin going to develop? I don't know, but we'll see. I think the wide receiver position is something they could still upgrade. Garrett Bowles, Ben Powers, Luke Waldenberger, Quinn Mears, Mike McGlinchey, a solid O-line. Not great, but solid, I think. Then the defense, one of the best defenses in the league. Zach Allen, he's very underrated if you don't know the name. DJ Jones, John Franklin Myers, Nick Bonito, Alex Singleton, Dre Greenlaw, they signed him. What a pickup that was. Jonathan Cooper, PS2, the reigning defensive player of the year, Patrick Surtain. Talona Hufunga from the 49ers, a wonderful addition. Jade Barron, what a pickup that was in the first round as well, to go opposite of a Patrick Surtain second. Like I said, they have a really good defense, a top 10 caliber defense. I think them and the Chargers and the Chiefs have the capability. 3 out of the 4 teams in that division have top 10 caliber defenses, in my opinion. And we know how hard it is to play in Denver. That's one thing you got to take into account also. 5280. That's the altitude. 5,280 in Denver. That's how many miles above altitude you are, or feet above altitude you are. Will Lutz, a really good kicker. Like I said, Sean Payton, a hell of a play caller. But let's get to their schedule. They host Cam Ward week 1. So we get to see Bo Nix going into year 2 and Cam Ward, the number 1 pick this year. That's a 4 o'clock game on Fox. I'll be looking at that week 1, seeing the quarterback matchup there. But I think the Broncos will stifle. That is a tough ask for a rookie quarterback week 1 on the road in Denver, of all places, against that defense. That could get ugly, but I'm going with them to start 1-0. They go to New England. No, go to Indy next. I don't like the Colts very much this year. We'll get into them later, but I have them at 2-0. Then they go to LA, 2-1. Then they host the Bengals. Could they win that? 3-1. That's a Monday night game. No, September 29th. Then at Philly, 3-2. Then they play the Jets overseas. That's an international game. Could they win that? I think so. 4-2. Then they play the Giants, 5-2. Could they beat Dallas at home, 6-2? Could they lose to Houston and Houston, 6-3? And then win one of the 2 against Kansas City and Vegas to be 7-4 going into a late Week 12 bye? I think 7-4 will be a great spot for the Broncos to be at. Then they go to Washington and Vegas. I think they could lose both, 7-6. Then they host Green Bay, 8-6. And then Jacksonville comes to Denver again, 9-6. These are December games in that altitude with the bad weather. So Green Bay, they're used to it, but Jacksonville, coming from Florida in December, that is not going to be easy for them either. And then the LA Chargers at the end of the season. But I have a 7-4 through 11 game start. Then we go into it 7-5, 7-6, 8-6, 9-6, 9-7. And then the Chargers, last game of the season, that could be winning your in, playoff implications. I think they win. I'm going to say 10-7. I think I have the Chargers at about 11 wins. I have the Broncos right now at 10 wins. I think I have the Chiefs competing for that number 1 seed, and the Raiders right behind them at like 8 or 9 wins. So I'm going to go 10-7 for the Broncos. A lot of these teams I'm selling high on. I'm giving them a lot of wins. So hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me in the butt. But I think this is a lot of improvements through free agency, the draft, the parity that the NFL loves, the roster construction, the free agency, and salary cap implications. Like I said, the player movement, the just talent across the league. And this is not going to be an easy division. I've said it before. Pete Carroll, Andy Reid, Sean Payton, like we're talking about. Of course, you can't forget the one and only Jim Harbaugh. So there are going to be some competitive, hard-nosed, physical teams. This is probably one of the more fun divisions. I'm looking forward to a lot of experience winning head coaches, Super Bowl winning coaches, national champion winning coaches. I think 10-7 for the Broncos is very, very realistic. I think Bo Nix will continue to get better. Like I said, I would like to see them add a weapon at the wide receiver position. I would like to see them maybe add another piece on the outside at corner, but I think up front they're going to be very, very stout. They can get after the quarterback. Had a lot of sacks, and they had a lot of sacks by committee. So a lot of guys on their team can get 5, 6, 7 sacks, and it's not really one guy you got to clean up or key in on. You get Dre Greenlaw, add him in there. You get Hufanga, two 49ers that are going to help you out tremendously as well. And then, like I said, Bo Nix, if he continues to just take that next step with the ability to run the ball with RJ Harvey, hopefully he can be what they hope he is and Cortland Sutton can stay healthy, hey, maybe they may have some. But I think Evan Ingram could have a good year if he can be healthy, and we'll see. But I think the Broncos may be a piece on offense away and maybe a piece on defense away from really being that legitimate conference contender. But I got them at 10-7. I want to hear from you. What do you guys think? Down in the comment section. We're doing each and every franchise in the NFL. We've been making our way through each conference, each division, forecasting what will happen. I think 10-7 is fair for the Broncos. Is it enough to get in the playoffs? Because it's going to be a lot of teams, I think, in both the AFC and the NFC when it comes to them wild card positions. 9, 10 wins in that mix of are they a playoff team? Are they a fringe playoff team? Will they maybe come down to that week 17, week 18 flex schedule of winning your in or playing a divisional foe at the end of the season and having to get a win to solidify a playoff position? Sound off in the comment section. Make sure you stack that subscribe button, tackle that thumbs up, leave us a like. And just like Bo knows, the Flex Zone knows, only place for the NFL and professional sports. Giving it to you how you want it when you need it. Sean Payton, he may do things unorthodox that we don't like, yelling in players' faces, but he seems to have his young, great quarterback he can mold and continue to mold going into year 2. And I think they will be a force to be reckoned with. Are they a playoff team? I don't know, but I think they're right in the mix. We're going to write every AFC East, every AFC team down. You get 7 in, they're in that top 10 of the AFC. But let me know. We want to hear from you in the comment section. God's favorite host, right here on the Flex On Podcast, your home for professional sports. I got the Broncos with 10 wins, 7 losses. Not a tough schedule, but not an easy schedule. Playing the division games will never be easy as well to go international. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you think about Bo next year, too. Broncos year 2. How does this team fare? Games you're looking forward to. We're doing it for each and every franchise. So if I haven't gotten to your team yet, I promise it's on the way. Thank you for watching. God's favorite host. I'm signing off. And until the next schedule we review, I'll see you when I see you.